What fire springs forth? What bile does bubble? The black moon swings, and the sky stirs treble, yes. By violent ends, we kill the light. Through the shadows, madness beckons. Weird at night.
Freed from the shackles of time and space, we present Weird at Night!
Goddamn, kid. It's already time for this shit again? Goddamn, this is a lot of work. I used to pretend to beat the shit out of people for a living, and it was easier than this. Well, anyway, it's your pal, Stone Cold, welcoming you to another edition of Weird at Night. Patrick's a wimp, but he's pretty good at doing this show, so it probably won't suck massive donkey balls. Right, Patrick? Oh, shit. I mean, here's Patrick. Well, what the fuck do you know? It's another edition of the show that's scared of its own shadow. The show that's not a show, but is still kind of a show. The show that shits out connection and pisses community. It's the show we call Weird at Night. I'm Patrick Galactic, your still imprisoned guide through another hour-ish of music, art, and creative conversation. And I'm so stoked to be here with you tonight. Quite honestly, collecting and cooking trash, it ain't too bad. But having to wash the paws of the raccoons is a little much. They step in their own poop like a lot. Tonight, we have music videos from Blake Anthony and Paris Alexa. Nadamucho is back with some extraordinary music shares. We'll look at the difference between modern and contemporary art, raise our understanding of lowbrow art, and be visited by the surrealist literary envoy of the Weniverse, Twist, and his incredible segment, Instrumental, and much more. So, we got to get this cardboard cutout of a universe in motion, friends, and to do it, we must serenade the stars. Join me now in a rousing rendition. Not just me. Join me and Gizmo in a rousing rendition of the song of the cosmos. Beautiful, fantastically delicious, my deadlies. Yes. We're in business, but it's time to get down to the business of musical revelation, and kicking us off tonight is the main monster in charge, the monster of ceremonies, Terry Monstrosity. This is a track preview for something new Terry's cooking up. So, check it out.
I did it. You didn't. We live it. They live it. Played a part in the start of the whole riff. Take your name at the stars, we won't miss it. I did it. You didn't. And I know where we headed, it's on ticket. Train engine, think I can, you know I'm with it. Fade different when you standing on a mission. I'm no longer looking at the crowd, I don't need a crown. I'ma seek a feature if you down. Creeping with the sound, fever pitch, throwing off the mount. Need a fix, I'm going into town. Always gotta frown.
Terry's definitely dipping a toe into some new waters, and it sounds fucking cool. Make sure to check out Terry's Bandcamp. Maybe buy a few tracks, or just give a follow if you're tight on cash. All of it is a big help, and we got a huge heaping helping of weird to dole out tonight, my chat cherubs. And if you want to lick the big spoon, I need you to turn rationality off. I need you to turn what the fuck to 11, because this cosmic calamity ain't an accident, cowpoke. It's an art extravaganza of galactic proportion. Weirded Night is a twice weekly art voyage through the stars. We love music, surreal comedy. Weirded Night is like a smoky patchwork quilt with Twilight Zone, 90s cable access, Pee-wee's Playhouse, and Reading Rainbow. Oh, stitched in. We're astonishingly wholesome for people who say fuck as often as we do here. But more importantly than all of that, we're a show community. The chat is 100% where it's at. A lot of the stuff we'll be showing tonight was made by someone hanging out in the chat. So give thanks to the Queen Most High, because you're chatting amongst royalty. Seattle rapper and vibe impresario Da Queen is the true and ultimate ruler of the Waniverse. So if you want to make it out of this episode alive, make sure you check out the Queen's Bandcamp, which I've just dropped in the chat. And good luck to you, because we've had some crazy shit happen when the Queen shows up. And don't fear the darkness, darling. We're weird. It's night. You're in the right place. Respect for each other and the flow of the show is essential. Distractors, spammers, you will be ejected. Give us a follow, and at some point in the night, I'll sing you a little tune. I'll make up a little tune for you. I got some people to sing to tonight who followed the channel recently, so we'll be singing to them. And if you subscribe on Twitch, which is super duper helpful, I will put everything down. I will grab the guitar, which is just right over there, and I will write you a 20-second song on the spot. But for now, let the extravaganza begin, and we start tonight. First things first, I want to issue a quick correction. Last episode, McGruff spoke with the incredibly interesting Ali Parks, who basically explained that the entire universe in a single conversation. It was amazing. However, after the segment, I referred to Ali as she and mistakenly misgendered them. Ali's pronouns are they, them, and I would like to apologize for my regrettable error and encourage you all to please check out Ali's website and learn more about what they do. So I'm going to drop that in the chat right now. All right, so check out Ali Parks, please. There's some cool stuff happening in the community. And this is always my favorite stuff to talk about. Our very own newly minted Showmunity superstar, Euphony of the Month, has released a new track called All That Ails Me. And I bought my copy today, and it's great. So why don't we just listen to a little bit of it?
Ever wonder what life would be if you just hadn't gone? Step in another shoes, same body and the same chromosomes. Would you ever wanna come back? Would you come back? Would you come back to your time? Would you ever wanna come back? Would you come back? Would you come back to your time?
I told you, I wasn't kidding around. Really, really cool stuff from Euphony of the Month. Get yourself a copy of All That Ails Me and give Euphony a follow on Bandcamp so you can be informed every time a new track is uploaded. Congrats, Euphony of the Month. Amazing stuff. Thank you for sharing, and please keep doing so. Elsewhere in the community, our very own Blazin' Space is going to be a guest on Nast Podcast. It's a podcast dedicated to sharing music and art in the Northwest. Blazin's going to be running live visuals for their event this Saturday. I'm going to drop the link to the show so you can listen or watch on whatever your preferred medium, whatever your preferred podcasting provider is. So click that link and you can go, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you like to listen to podcasts on. That link will take you there. But we also have a little preview of what the NAST podcast is. Here you go.
And we did it. Hey, can you zoom in Ken's real quick?
What's up?
What's up? Bro, what you up to?
I'm just working hard right now.
Dope. I've been thinking, man, it's time to expand. It's 2022.
How are you thinking of doing that?
What do you think of Nast Live?
I don't know what to think of it because I don't know what that means.
think of like a live podcast with a live audience, and then afterwards the guest, aka you, do like a live set.
No, that sounds tight. I'm with it. When do you want me to fly in?
How about February 12th?
February 12th. I'm free.
Crossing time zones, free trips with a mileage. Young boy with a moves, no stylist. Acting out of pocket, yeah, you wildin'. On an island in Sulawesi.
Very cool stuff coming up from Nast podcast. Blazing Space will be in the house this Saturday, so make sure you check it out. And that's not even all Blazing Space has been up to. This past Saturday, while we were weirding at night, Blazing was running visuals for walking papers at the Crocodile. And it even happened that a certain Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains was present and really dug the visuals too, which you can get a little look at right now.
You're the one that heart responds to. The only truth we're holding on to. But the sinner will not hold the value of zero.
And lastly, but certainly not leastly, our very own Naomi Bayomi Fiomi will be front and center this Thursday, February 10th, as Church of Hope hosts a Zoom screening of Manifest Destiny Jesus, a documentary we previewed on the show a number of times that I've been fortunate enough to watch. It's a documentary about Naomi's church and their struggle to reconcile with a white Jesus that was depicted in their church. As I said, I've seen the film. It's fantastic, and Naomi is a huge part of it. The screening will start at 7 p.m. The film runs about 40 minutes. Afterwards, Josh Osang and Damon Arundel, two of the three creators and members of the film's creative team, will join in a discussion with Pastor Darla in a moderated conversation. I imagine it'll probably be something 15 to 30 minutes. There will be time after the moderated discussion for a brief question and answer session, which is super cool, where attendees can voice questions. If you want the Zoom link, please request it through Naomi's contact form on her website, which I just dropped in the chat. I highly recommend it. It's a very interesting story that showcases the true creativity of so many people, not the least of which is Naomi herself. So that's Manifest Destiny Jesus, February 10th. Don't miss out. How is the community? Do we have any big news? Any announcements? Any cool weird stuff you've done? Did you put cheese on a salad? And that was a big weird thing you did. At me in the chat. I'll read them as we go along. But as we chat and as we don't forget to ask me a weird question. Anything you think might be hard to answer, might be funny, whatever you think weird is, just at me in the chat and I'll answer them at the chat break. We have quite a banquet of music and art shares tonight, including Blake Anthony. We're going to learn about phrenology, lowbrow art, and way more. But right now, we kick things off with the incredible talent of Seattle R&B artist Paris Alexa. Paris Alexa isn't a well-kept secret in Seattle. She's been featured in national publications plenty. This is a track from her debut full-length album, Too Real, that dropped in 2020. This track is called Lucky, and it's gonna get into your ear holes, courtesy of me clicking this thing right now.
Well. Everyone here for the Grand Prix casting call? We have an issue. The bad bitches. Guess what, folks? You are lucky for just being here. You better bring your A game today.
I could have a baller, banker. I could have a dope boy, gangster. I could have a woman or a lawyer, or a sailor, a musician, a beautician, grad from Baylor. I could have a rich boy, just fun baby from daddy, putting in his face, throw the cash right at me. You're the only one that really makes me happy. How could that be? Yeah, I want you. You're so lucky. Why would you want to push me to do what I do? Baby, trust me. Let me make one thing clear. I could have anybody up in here. Got it, get it, don't ever forget it. Got it, get it, don't ever forget it. You're so lucky. You're so lucky to be fucking with a brain like me. Yeah. Don't give me your best and see ya. Let the internet gas me up. I normally don't flex, I need to get this one off. I'm feeling like I really need to remind you. Boy, you think you're fine, I could find too. Oh, really lucky I like you. I wanna fight you, but I still want you. You're so lucky, baby. Why would you want to push me to do what I do? Baby, trust me. Looking like a lucky charm. I could have anybody that I want.
Stop a real bad bitch. That's true love and happiness.
Got it, get it, don't ever forget it. Don't forget it, get it, don't ever forget it. You're so lucky, get it, don't ever forget it. Got it, get it, don't ever forget it. You're so get it, don't ever forget it. No, 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 no. Get it, don't ever forget it.
Everyone has a different idea of properly wrapping a cable. Over-under is a popular choice, but it was never for me. I prefer to gently twist in wide loops. My father used to coil a hose over his shoulder and under his elbow. The fuck kind of damage might that cause? Not to the hose, but to me, his neglected child.
Give it up for Paris Alexa. She's an artist I see big things happening for in the very near future. I don't know how you could hear that track and think anything differently. Whatever. Show her some love on Bandcamp, whether it's a purchase or a follow, makes a huge difference. And remember, friends, if each of us, not just us in this community, but all people, if we spent as little as $10 a month on Bandcamp, supporting artists we believe in, the entire music industry would change overnight. There'd be an influx of cash that hasn't been seen since CDs were being sold. It's not hard to do. It just takes a fractional amount of cash and some initiative. So let's make it happen, huh? Keep spreading the message. Keep spreading the message. Also, amazing big thanks to Blazing Space and to Motzi for reading and writing an excellent auto-write. Are you new? Do you know what an auto-write is? Well, stick around till the end. We do it together at the end of every episode, and your auto-write tonight might be the one we read next episode. Thank you very much. Motzi. Now, we shift the focus. Hocus pocus, shift the focus, as they say about like serial manipulators and narcissists. Am I a serial manipulator or a narcissist? Or both? Fuck, now I'm scared. What's the difference between modern art and contemporary art? I actually don't know either. Just watch this.
Welcome to Smart Talk, where we talk about art, history, and anything in between. Today we're going to be talking about modern art versus contemporary art. There's a common misconception that modern art is contemporary art. It's understandable since both modern and contemporary mean current, now, or the present. But in the art world, the two are as different as apples and oranges. Modern art isn't modern at all, but actually pretty old. It roughly started during the Industrial Revolution around the 1860s. In this time, artists wanted to stop making the same art that had been done for hundreds of years and started experimenting with abstractions. With the popularization of photography, artists didn't see the point in trying to copy reality anymore and used their paints more freely. With modern art came many isms, like Impressionism, Symbolism, Cubism, Expressionism, and even Futurism. One ism in particular, Fauvism, with one of its biggest painters being Henri Matisse, were very expressive with color. The Fauves, French for the wild beasts, used bold, bright colors to paint because they thought using color this way reflected an artist's feelings about a subject. Although modern art liked experimentation, it experimented with art mediums like drawing, painting, and sculpture. Contemporary art, which is art made from the 1970s to the present, experimented not only with new mediums like performance art, video art, land art, installation art, and even virtual art. But contemporary art also focused more on social issues rather than just making new aesthetics. Now that you know a bit more on the difference between modern and contemporary art, go on and enjoy your new smarts. To see a modern art master's work, come see Matisse Life in Color June 14th through September 7th, 2014, an exhibition at the San Antonio Museum of Art. And for more information, visit us at samuseum.org/Matisse. Have any questions, comments, or video ideas? Let us know in the comments below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. We'll really appreciate it.
Well, what's in a name? Well, apparently not a whole lot of common sense, as it turns out. The modern period was quite a long time ago, really. Contemporary art, as in art being made and popularized today, is something much different, and we're going to get into it a little later today. Good news, though. Good news. While we were watching the video, I read a one-paragraph description of narcissistic personality disorder, and it's described thusly. Narcissistic personality disorder involves a pattern of self-centered, arrogant thinking and behavior, a lack of empathy and consideration for other people, and an excessive need for admiration. Others often describe people with NPD as cocky, manipulative, selfish, patronizing, and demanding. See? It's not me at all. Right? Fuck. Well, no matter, weirdlings, narcissist or no, it's Black History Month, and we here at Weird at Night are celebrating it all month long and far beyond. But tonight, we look at the birth of a musical form so significant. It's influenced generations of musicians and music lovers alike. What are we talking about? Jazz, baby.
By the turn of the 20th century, New Orleans had long been a veritable cultural melting pot. Out of that unique culture would be born a new form of African American music, a blend of African, Latin, and European forms and styles. This music would be called jazz.
In the early days, jazz was played primarily by African American musicians, and they often played it in the red light districts of New Orleans. And because of this, it was considered immoral music. Even a publication as prestigious as the New York Times wrote an anti-jazz article. But these efforts did nothing to stop the rise and the spread of jazz.
In 1917, the military closed the New Orleans red light district. But by that time, the music had caught the attention of a young man who lived in the neighborhood. His name was Louis Armstrong. and he would go on to become a sensation in New Orleans. Jazz was one of the most innovative and original forms of African American cultural expression. Yet, the first jazz recording was made by an all-white band from New Orleans. Their songs sold over 1 million copies and introduced a watered-down form of jazz to a broader American audience. But it was a group of black soldiers who would take jazz itself to an international audience.
During World War I, James Reese Europe was a leader in the Harlem Hellfighters, a segregated troop of African American soldiers, but he was also a very gifted musician and composer. He started a band of black military men who played the new music throughout Europe, and even after the war was over, that band continued to spread jazz throughout the Western world.
With the talents of pioneers such as Buddy Bolden and Jelly Roll Morton, Bessie Smith and Mamie Smith, as well as Armstrong and Ellington, the music became so popular that the Roaring Twenties came to be known as the Jazz Age. From its humble and controversial origins, jazz had become the first original, sophisticated instrumental music in American history. Jazz is America's genuine classical music.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Jazz has influenced literally every genre of music at this point in our history and pushed culture forward as it grew into a phenomenon. Now, Black history is not something that's left in the past. It is happening around us all the time. It is happening around us every day, and we will be here to document it step by step right here on Weird at Night. And speaking of documenting the Black experience, Converge Media has done a fantastic job of just that. Whether it's in the communities of Seattle or far beyond, Converge's transparent coverage has gained acclaim worldwide. And I think you know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to show it to you anyway.
We're right here at East Precinct. It doesn't get any closer than this right now.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents.
As a small independent media company, we rely on the financial support of individuals and business members to stay on the front lines of the news that's important to you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your band, The Big O. I want to encourage you to tune in to Weird at Night right here on Converge Media every Saturday at 10 p.m.
Thanks to the Big O, Omari Salisbury, and the entire Converge Media crew for partnering with our silly asses to air Weird at Night on Converge channels every Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific. Check out the links I dropped and consider giving your financial support to their incredibly important work. We now turn to history once again. But this is a very different story, friends. As the centuries have rolled along, we've always maintained a fascination with the human brain. And we've been very convinced that we've known all about it at different times. However, in all of those different times, we were completely wrong. Today, we are simply smart enough to acknowledge that the brain is a mystery that we are still uncovering. But in the late 1700s through the mid 1800s, well, we weren't very smart. This is a clip about the utterly discredited pseudoscience of phrenology.
Phrenology comes from the Greek words phren, meaning mind, and logos, meaning knowledge, and was invented by Franz Joseph Gall in 1796. It was most popular between 1810 and 1840. The pseudoscience of phrenology seeks to determine the strengths and weaknesses of a person's personality traits and characteristics based on the bumps and ridges of their skull. Phrenologists believed that the brain was made up of 27 different organs, and depending on how developed those 27 organs were, was how strong or weak your personality traits would be. Phrenologists such as American Niles Fowler would examine the skull to see how well the 27 organs of the brain were developed. Those 27 organs were determined traits such as affection, pride, wit, and cleverness. So after you had your examination, you would get a bigger picture of who you were, and it was really considered to be predetermined and preset. At the time, a person can make an appointment at a phrenology parlor and get their examination and their results in the same day. They would take those results and apply them to their lives with different life choices on relationships, maybe vocation, and other important life decisions. There are even records of employers requiring exam results at the time as a condition of employment. As you can imagine, this pseudoscience was used to reinforce racial stereotypes and racist ideas, even being used as justification for slavery, the removal of native peoples from their lands, and the mistreatment of mental patients in the new asylums. It was also the forerunner of the eugenics movement in the 1930s, even after it was discredited. The phrenology craze died down in the 1840s, but the interest in it did persist a little bit longer into the 20th century. And there was more interest in the 1930s with the invention of the automated phrenology machine, also known as the psychograph. Now, phrenology has a dark and fascinating history, and it can be said, like a lot of the pseudoscience at the time, that it did head us in the right direction with asking the right questions about why we do what we do and how we do what we do. Even though it was wrong about determining our behavior on the shape of the skull, it was right about asking what parts of the brain actually do control behavior, and in some sense is a forerunner of current neuroscientific study. What do you think of phrenology? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next week.
Now, aside from the dark fascination that comes with studying utterly bonkers beliefs that were once treated as gospel, I showed that clip to illustrate the wonder of science. Science is dedicated to proving itself wrong when applicable. And as the decades wore on, science proved phrenology to be a harmful and wasteful study. It was utterly wrong on just about every level. This is why I trust science, friends. It looks for flaws, it exposes its own flaws in an effort to find an objective truth. No religion could make that same claim. I trust science, and I hope you do too. And speaking of science, Nanamucho has been in the science of sharing music and culture from around the Pacific Northwest for 25 years. And tonight, I would like us to do something a little different for this particular set of music shares. So I hope you're listening. I want to be a little creative. This was Matt Ashworth's idea, Ash Maddie's idea. I would like us to do a nod-a-right. What's a nod-a-right? Well, it's an auto-right that we're going to do while the music is playing. Try to empty your mind, let the music play, and share whatever words come to you while we listen. You don't have to edit or spell correct, just let it flow. At the end of the segment, hit enter or return on your keyboard, and we'll read them at the chat break. It's the nod-a-right, and it's happening right now. Get your writing hands ready.
She wants me to kill you.
Very cool stuff from Nada Mucho. If you got a Nada right, drop it in the chat. It'd be super fun to read. We did get a bunch of questions, so I will be reading that. But first, I want to remind everybody, follow the channel. Follow us on Twitch, follow us on YouTube, follow us on both, because Twitch is where we do it live. That's where I prefer to be when we do it live. But for our archives and all of our past stuff, you can only find it on YouTube. So give us a follow in both spots, because one is great for looking up the lore of the show, and the other is the ultimate live experience. So Twitch and YouTube kind of go hand in hand. We do have some questions from earlier. It looked like some pretty wild ones too. Let's see what we got. Let me make sure I'm going back far enough. Blazing Space says, I'm just psyched to talk about Weird at Night with Nast Podcast tomorrow at their studio. As I said, click the link that we dropped for Nast Podcast. Go to their YouTube. It's a visual podcast, so you'll be able to see everything as well as hear everything. Give them a follow there. Alex F&V, what would you say to a giraffe if you walked by and it said, hey bitch, hey? I would probably not say anything or do anything. I would probably try to stand very still, because this giant creature that I believe to be an herbivore is all of a sudden calling me a little bitch, which I am, and I respect that. And so I respect the power of the giraffe, so I would definitely just try to make myself as scarce as possible. Bicentennial Pepe, question, would $20 be enough to get you to come over to my apartment in that fuzzy ass zip up and purr while I pet you? $75 if that's actually a footed onesie. I wish it was a footed onesie. $20, I mean, that covers gas, but I might need to eat something while I'm on my way. So maybe we could get it to 25. But great question, Bicentennial Pepe. It cracked me up when you originally asked it. I was giggling like a little schoolgirl over here. Do we have anybody else in the chat who wants to ask a question? Oh, did we get some Nada rights? Yeah, we did. Okay, this is from TC Blackout. Here's TC Blackout's Nada right. If the buzz is any indication, then maybe I found the right place. Somewhere where all the wear and tear comes out of nowhere and lands with the thud. With Casper eyes and Lily lies, all that's bespoken is a token of the passing of the torch, because sometimes there is an incongruity to the point of concern. So by picking oneself up by the eyelids, this convertible ride would be slightly more comfortable. Not super comfortable, because the engine is on fire and we only have Red Bull Zero. Great stuff, TC. Thank you so much for sharing your Nada right. Madsy in the end time. The beats are total vibe now. I fly under the handle and slap a ham-fisted smile on the porridge poultries. Is there any sound better than the sound of the sound? Puget friends get what I'm saying. If an octopus can flavor a habanero, so candy. Wonderful. And welcome, Madsy. So good to have you with us tonight. Excellent Nada right. Excellent Nada right. Euphony of the month. Clear translucent broken eggshells under the tires. Slide guitar, save the queen and her peons. Let me hear more harmonies in the chorus or vice versa. Waves of analog synths slowly chew on my eardrums, and quite frankly, I'm into it. I love it, Euphony of the month. I love it, I love it, I love it. Blazing Space says they would definitely talk to the giraffe. Bicentennial Baby says they'd say, what up, ho? Look, we all have different ways of communicating with giraffes, people. Mine is to play dead, which is the same strategy you used when encountering a bear. But a giraffe could just step on you and end you. So that's where my fear gets kind of peaked. Naomi Bayomi Fayomi, hi, I like cheese, pretty rocks, bluegrass, harmony, roses, dandelions, boulders, trees, and the great feeling I get when I vacuum, which is much less often than I should. Same, Naomi, same. Thank you for your Nada right. Naomi said, I was multitasking and accidentally sent my auto right as text, then had to explain myself. Very nice. Very nice. Great Nada rights, everybody. This is great stuff. I think that's an exercise worth repeating. This is also a reminder that we have a Discord. So if you want to stay in touch throughout the week between episodes of the show, that's how you do it. You go on our Discord. You join our Discord. I just dropped the link in the chat. Please follow that. send me a friend request, and that way we can private message each other if you have something that you'd like to talk about, like perhaps maybe you're an artist. Because if you're an artist, if you're a musician, a poet, a painter, a dancer, if you do drag, if you're a comedian, if you're a sketch comic, if you're a short filmmaker, if you animate stuff, if you write literature, we would love to feature it on Weird at Night. We would love to feature it on Weird at Night, and it's very easy. All you have to do is send me an email, weirdatnight@gmail.com, or join the aforementioned Discord, which we just dropped the link to in the chat, and send me a private message. And you don't even need to have a completely solid idea of what you want to do on the show. We can just get the conversation started and get the ball rolling. It's not a high-pressure situation, folks. Collaboration is key. That's what we're all about here. But we still got so much art to uncover, Weirdlings of the Night. Blake Anthony, Not For Sale, Lowbrow Art, Instrumental, McGruff, and much more. But right now, I'm turning it over to our hilarious friends at Problemagic Comedy. This sketch is called Bad Habit. And when you watch it, you will see that is no joke.
So tell me more about your party. This party is super awkward. We should go.
You think so? I think it's okay.
I'm just getting a really weird vibe from people. Like, are they mad at me?
Oh. I mean, we shouldn't talk.
Kate, spit it out.
Okay. All right. Sometimes, on occasion, you murder people.
What? I murder people? Corey, please. Kate just told me that I murder people. Like, isn't that a weird thing to say?
Oh, no, not really. It's pretty common knowledge that sometimes you tend to murder people.
That is completely ridiculous.
You just murdered Corey.
No, I didn't.
Sam, I watched you do it. Look, Corey is dead now.
He must have, died of natural causes.
Natural causes? I watched you stab him.
Really doesn't sound like me.
Marcus, tell Sam how everyone knows about how she always murders.
What? Girl, no.
Ha! See, I knew you were making this up.
Marcus, stop it. She clearly just murdered Corey.
Are we sure it wasn't just natural causes?
You see, Marcus is on my side. I don't know why you think I murder people. I get it. I'm a slow walker on the street and I eat noodles weird. But the fact that you think I murder people is just completely unfounded.
You just paused so you could finish murdering Marcus.
Why would I murder Marcus? He's the only reason I passed biology last semester.
I think you do it without just thinking about it. We all have our bad habits.
Yes. If I murder people all the time, though, why would anyone hang out with me?
Well, because you're just so likable that people are weirdly okay with it.
Oh my God, Sam, hi! Oh. Damn. Do I really murder people?
Have I ever lied to you?
All right. I'm a murderer. I'm sorry, Kate.
Don't apologize to me.
I'm sorry, guys. I promise I won't murder anyone else. No, don't drink that.
Samantha, what the F?
Sorry. I was maybe going to murder you.
Why?
Bad habit?
Bad habit indeed. Just casual murder. Probably not the best habit to have, and people aren't always as understanding as the people in those commercial or in that sketch. You would be gravely disappointed if you murdered somebody and realized they're not as accepting as those people. People have different values, okay? Some can be your friends despite the fact that you're a murderer. Some cannot. So don't take your friends for granted. I think that's the message of the of the sketch. Amazing stuff from Problem Magic Comedy. Please don't be a dummy. Check out their YouTube and Instagram. There's plenty more there that'll make you laugh your ass off. And something that ain't funny at all is the incredible flow and vibe of Tacoma, Washington rapper Blake Anthony, aka B.A. the Scribe. Blake's been making incredible stuff for a long time. We featured him a few times in the Nada Mucho Newsy News, and tonight, we're digging a little deeper. We're about to watch his video, Black Coffee, which came out a few years back. Blake's got a lot more to listen to, so make sure you smash the links we're about to drop, okay? But for now, enjoy.
I used to ride out in Deuce Dime down 1604, scheming and smoking reefer, cheaper the panacea, drinking on coffee and moon rise, rapping by the hour, stressing what I was holding. The fact is life is golden, lessons in every moment. So being broke every day of my life, what God has chosen, come up just to get over. I must be getting older, might have a blanket on the bench before this shit is over. Bills overloading, mailbox overflowing. I be smiling just to keep the devil gene from showing. Kicking like Kazuya, cause sweating life is bogus. I take a shower, go clock some hours to keep it going. Black coffee, he talked to me beforehand, might smack the black off him. Jab jawing about next nigga and his figures, just crabs homie. Stuck inside a barrel with a trigger, might blast on me just for looking like I got some dough. Pavement embracing my body like welcome home. Shame I ain't visit my mama before I go. From the underground flow up to the sky, wishing that I could die to get that permanent high. Swimming in lost visions after breathing a sigh. Like why? I see the tears from the underground flow up to the sky, wishing that I could die to get that permanent high. Swimming in lost visions after breathing a sigh. Like why? I used to be like, I wonder what it's like to be on stage under the big light. Before we had the hit light, my flows is up through midnight. From Sega Genesis to Sega Saturn up to Fortnite. My biggest nemesis been my own innocence inside a city where you busting heads or getting busted in. Focus to the paper, get right. I been spoiled, family all around me till we dipped out. That's when I forgot to keep my chin down. Now I wonder what it's like to even be a kid now. What it's like when shit's together and you sit down. Yeah, I'm on that shit now. I say the tears from the underground flow up to the sky, wishing that I could die to get that permanent high. Swimming in lost visions after breathing a sigh. Like why? I say the tears from the underground flow up to the sky, wishing that I could die to get that permanent high. Swimming in lost visions after breathing a sigh. Like why?
Great stuff from Blake Anthony and Not For Sale, who always keeps the groove hand strong here on Weird at Night every Tuesday and Saturday at 10 p.m. Check out Not For Sale's shirt in our artist studio and show some love. I dropped the link, so it's not too. What? Am I reading this right? He's apologizing for what? Oh, Jesus. Well, tonight is a night for apologies, it seems, my deadlies. I'm apologizing for possibly being a malignant narcissist, and now McGruff is apologizing for something. Here.
It's a new thing, it's a fun thing, it's a swing wing. It's a what? It's a swing wing, it's a wing wing. A brand new transgram fun thing. It's a what? It's a swing wing. A fun thing. And now it's your favorite store thing. It's a what? Hey! You got my order wrong! I ordered double bandages!
More bandages!
I'm on it!
We interrupt this commercial to bring you a special announcement from this station's sponsor, Shitty's Pizza! Shitty's! The hospital is right next door! Use promo code Why God Do We Suffer and receive a free depuing today! Shitty's would like to apologize to any of the viewers who wrote letters, or tweeted, or emailed, or Instagrammed after the corporate summit to sign the trash agreement between the Trash Force and the Space Raccoons. We are contractually obligated to state that Shitty's Pizza does not condone murder or kidnapping. Shitty's Pizza stands in solidarity with the victim of last week's summit, Frank. The hashtag RIP Frank was trending all week, and in close second, release the gizmo emoji, and in third, cancel Shitty's. Shitty's Pizza stands in solidarity with the RIP Frank movement, and will no longer be sponsoring events at Hotel Don Giro. This week, you can use the promo code FRANK to receive 3 complimentary Band-Aids on each breadstick. Shitty's would also like me to tell you that they are a fucking family company, and this shit doesn't fly on their watch. It sinks. Shitty's, the hospital is right next door. We now return you to your regularly scheduled brainwashing programming.
Fun thing, it's a swing wing, a wing wing, a brand new transgram fun thing. It's a swing wing, a new thing. It's a swing wing.
Get Swing Wing, made by Transagram, where the fun comes from. It's a swing wing.
It's a what?
Good God! I've been a Space Raccoon captive this whole week. I had no idea hashtag RIP Frank, hashtag release the gizmo emote, and hashtag cancel Shitties were trending on global social media site Shitter. Definitely make use of the new promo code FRANK to receive 3 complimentary Band-Aids on every breadstick, which is awesome. But God damn it, Alex, you almost cost us our oldest and most treasured sponsor. Murder costs money, people. Didn't we see that in the Problemagic comedy sketch? God, don't kill your friends even if you hate them. I think that's the most important lesson here. Oh, and the gizmo emote is never being freed. Do you hear me, God? Do you hear me? Bring them all. You'll never break me. Narcissist. Wow. That was weird. Also, make sure you tune in this Saturday to get the other side of the tale of 2 kidnappings that we presented side 1 that featured my captivity with the Space Raccoons. And this Saturday, we will tell the other side of the tale of 2 kidnappings with a story of Paprika's imprisonment. All right. So we've explored the difference between modern and contemporary art. But what is contemporary art? Well, We have an answer. The lowbrow art movement has taken a firm root in contemporary culture. But what is lowbrow art? I don't know. Don't ask me.
And I don't think young artists realized back then, like when Jasper Johns and Rauschenberg were young artists, they had to make a living, so they were doing storefronts, like on Fifth Avenue, decorating storefronts, but they had to do it under another name, because they knew they would never be allowed into the art world if they had done something commercial. And again, back to Andy, it's like he was a commercial artist, and then he decided he wanted to be in the art world. And he didn't disguise the fact that he had been a commercial artist. He didn't change his name and act like he'd never done that before. He embraced that.
The museums have so many reasons for choosing to show an artist in a museum that I would say there's probably an incredible amount of very serious, worthy artists who never get museum shows. We never see in museums, so of course there's very serious art not in museums.
I know even with some of my friends, we're making it, art is our career and not being those like gallery, not being those museum show type people, and so I think it's different. I mean, even with like social media and like how everything spreads so fast, because before you used to actually have to see the pieces in person, which I think is still great, but now everything's so immediate that you don't even need that. You can kind of create your own your kind of own like headquarters, so to speak, and people feed off of that. And I think, it's a totally different world than it used to be.
I think what's happened is with both street art and also what a lot of people call pop surrealism, not really a word I use, but work that's graphic and playful. I think that when it started, it was a much smaller niche market. And I think it's expanded, and I think what falls under that category or label has expanded.
It's a new thing. Someone said, oh, that's lowbrow, that's pop, but we're all doing really the same things. We're all rebelling against modern arts, this kind of dead, necrophilia, emotionless, conceptual, for lack of a better word, crap.
So that's lowbrow art. It's not art made of low-hanging eyebrows, thankfully. Phew, that's what I thought. But no, lowbrow art is a vibe. It's street art. It's toy art. Comics could essentially be qualified as lowbrow art. And there's much more to it. But essentially, it's fun, it's playful, it avoids the conceptualism and pretentiousness of modern art and some fine art to present things that are extremely eye-catching and fucking cool, goddammit! Great stuff, great stuff. Lowbrow art, I love this stuff. Quick reminder that even though this episode is nearing its end, the party ain't over. Join our Discord server and hop on the Community Voice chat channel after the show. Just drop the link in the chat, join our Discord, people. Do it, do it. And speaking of great stuff, we are blessed to witness the return of our surrealist literary envoy Twist, who, like Jesus Christ but cooler, rose from the great beyond to return with another mind-blowing free write that he calls Instrumental.
Hello, and welcome to Instrumental, a segment where I turn music into microfiction. Let us begin. The fireflies eat in the dark. My granddaughter's body is curled up in the tall grass next to the rusted old seesaw, a root looking for something shaped like a tree. The dying sunlight glances off the tips of the brown crumbling overgrowth, kissed goodbye and twitching. I hear the blades of grass swaying, still alive, like they never had a parent teach them how to die. Her breath rustles over the dirt, and I catch it in air-colored hands before it rises. Before I let my soul out of my body, I dismantled the lawnmower and tied all the individual parts to the rain gutters with thick cord, plastic wheels and curved blades on oily metal insides dangling like wind chimes. In the daylight, I spell her name out in rattles and hiccups, metal scraping against glass. Spark plug lines with our love. The grass whispers back, and I snatch at anything that sounds like a promise. I've worked my whole life. My father gave me all the little hand jobs when I was too young to hold a hammer or a wrench. Tiny fingers tightening and bolting, untying and unscrewing. Now my body lies underneath the front porch, hands tucked into my jean pockets, and my shallow breaths take the shape of me and wander the backyard. Right hand clasped around the handle of a thick pipe wrench that I pretend with all my might is there. I perch myself on the top end of the seesaw and watch the fireflies ascend out of the darkness. They fly in single-file chains like blinking ellipses against dark paper. I hear them breathing, their chewed tinfoil rasp jangling like acid eating through a chain-link fence. They wrap around the silvery line connecting my soul to my body, shining like juicy sinew in the night, and my hand clenches around the imaginary wrench. I don't know where my granddaughter's soul is. She could be floating through the sky like a kite abandoned at both ends. If I ever find out, I'll pretend I don't know. Pretend she's an imaginary friend that only I can see. The fireflies pick the thoughts from my mind like kernels off a corn cob, swallowing them one after another, orange-hued, pulsing in delight. I sit on the seesaw and I make no noise, keep the line taut, keep from losing my grip. In the morning, when the fireflies have had their fill and my breath is shuddering from my waxy white lips planted under the front porch, and I wake up with my legs wrapped around the seesaw and my own unfamiliar name scrolled across my mind like a signature on a blank check, there will be one kernel left wedged into the bare cob from which the others will grow. A photograph buried in the dirt showing a grandfather and a granddaughter at opposite ends of a seesaw painted bright yellow, sun making spots against the camera lens, sky the reflection off a tin can, and the wayward root will snake out of the ground and hold me to the earth, and I will remember what I am meant to remember and forget what I am meant to forget, the way a bad dream dissipates into the night. Thank you for listening.
Wow. Amazing stuff, Twist. I every single time Twist regales us with some amazing story. Please tune in on Tuesdays because that's when Instrumental airs here on Weird at Night. I'm a lyricist, okay? I kind of fashion myself as somebody who has a way with words, but Twist just takes it to a whole new place that I could not even dream of. So, Twist, thank you so much for sharing. That was Instrumental number 46. Twist has made 46 of these for us, folks. Thank you, Twist. All right, but now it's time for the auto rate. What is an auto rate? Well, it's a little exercise we do. It's the tool of the surrealist, friends, to try and connect to our unconscious minds. I'm going to count back from 10, and as I do, I want you to try and clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'm going to say go. When I say go, we'll all start tippity typing in the chat. Whatever comes into your head, it doesn't have to make any sense. You don't want to try to sound smart. Just type whatever comes into your head. You don't need to spell correct or edit anything. After about 30 or 45 seconds, I'll say stop. When I say stop, we hit enter or return on our keyboards. Everybody's auto write shows up in the chat. I read them out loud. And then our friends, Pursuit of Wonder, are going to see us out tonight. So one more time. I'm going to count back from 10. You try to clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'm going to say go. When I say go, we all start typing in the chat whatever comes into our minds. No spell corrections, no edits. After about 30 or 45 seconds, I'll say stop. We all hit enter or return. Everybody's auto write shows up. We read it. We have a good laugh. I say a little cheery thing to send us all off. And then Pursuit of Wonder is going to see us out tonight. They have a great video that I think you're going to love. Okay, so let's do it. So try to clear your mind. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Start typing. All right, and stop. I just dropped mine in the chat. I'll read mine while we wait for more to come in. This is what I said. What's all the Axis body spray in this tent of delusion and purple dinosaur droppings? Why? Why would anyone use that much of it? Why would anyone use that much of it to attract attractive people? To attract unattractive people? I'm confused as to the motive, but that's okay. We're selling something, and we're all selling something, and I'm selling deliciously sexy confusion at a premium, but I won't be undersold. Thanks, me. Great job, me. Naomi, Baomi, Faomi. That frog is looking at me funny. What's his problem? Dude, it wasn't me. It was out of the state when it happened, visiting some salamanders. That's great stuff, Naomi, Baomi, Faomi. Anarchy and Bedrock. Stayed up way past my bedtime to get this auto ride in. It's gonna be so fucking good when I smash this enter key and I put my seminal auto fluid into the Woniverse womb. Boom! Great stuff, Anarchy and Bedrock. Alex F&V, bigger bears are coming than you even know. I saw them. You just wait. They're all the different shades of blue, and I bet they have Junior Mints. Junior Mints are my dad's favorite candy, but not mine. Mine are Reese's. And Skittles, also Butterfinger. There's a big bird on Sesame Street, and he's coming to kill you. And me. Sith magic. I think you hit the nail right on the head, even though we're kind of on the outs right now, cousin, because of you abandoning me and leaving me in the hands of murderous raccoons. That was a great auto rate. Still the queen of the auto rates. And the trash force. TC Blackout. Open book method, but all the words are in Sanskrit, and while I have a Sandshrew on my belt, it ain't gonna help me in this battle. I guess I should have paid more attention while time traveling, but the past is in hindsight, and I'm technically outlawed in 8 different centuries. It's a tough racket what you do, TC, but I appreciate it. Well done. Ash Maddie. The shadow on the wall looks like Mark Wahlberg's mustache in Weekend at Bernie's. I saw it through the hole in the dark gray long john shirt I pulled over my head to keep the bats from shitting in my hair again. Every time I try to wash it out, I get that song stuck in my head from the 90s. The one about the girl. Well done, sir. Well done, Ash Maddie. Mazzy in the End Times. The positivity is positively ponderous for me this evening. I know I should be somewhere, but where is that? In my brain, mostly. Well done, Mazzy in the End Times. Once again, always love having you here. Thank you for being here. Bicentennial Bebe. Yum, cherry cheesecake, a slice for $4 that I let my neighbor buy for me after finding out about $250,000 he misplaced. Looking around the room, trying to stay clear, I framed my copy of Diary that Chuck Palahniuk signed while we were discussing Fight Club, and he wrote, "Get well." And when I read it later, I thought, oh, great auto write by Centennial Baby. Great stuff. Euphony of the Month. Brand new, newly minted Showmunity Superstar Euphony of the Month. Here I am, deep into my auto wrong. What are my bad habits? Do I stroke my beard too often? Or perhaps it's my mustache? Let me take another swig from this jug and try to think about this a bit more. Dear God, I'm drunk as fuck. Very good auto write, Euphony of the Month, and thank you for sharing your music with us tonight. That was super, super cool. That song rules, everybody, so make sure you go check it out on Bandcamp. Well, friends, we've done it again. Another hour, another art share, another chance to revel in our shared creative visions. Narcissist or no, I know how to celebrate amazing goddamn art and artists, and I love doing just that with you every Tuesday and Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific time. No matter where you're at in your creative journey, you're right where you're supposed to be, because you're here with me, baby. Weird at Night is founded on 4 key principles. People come first. Time matters more than money. Art is the antidote. Attack with love. Love yourself because you're the best thing that will ever happen to you. It's easy to look around at our current reality and feel despair. And that's not wrong. This is an extraordinarily charged time with a lot of uncertainty hanging over us. But right now, in this moment, we have ourselves and we have each other. We don't know what's coming around the corner tomorrow, which is exactly why it's important to make the most of the good times. And hanging with all of you is exactly how I like to have a good time. Tonight, we'll be seen out by our friends Pursuit of Wonder, one of my favorite YouTube channels. They're talking tonight about how to be an optimistic nihilist. Yes, it's possible, and they're gonna show us how. So watch and learn. I'm Patrick Galactic. We are Weird at Night. Take good care of you, love your people every chance you get. I'll see you this Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific or right after the show in the Discord voice chat. But either way, huge love, everybody. Here's Pursuit of Wonder.
There's no question, life is weird. Everything about it can feel kind of insane at times. The way people act, the way the world works or doesn't, the amount of stress we put ourselves through, the amount of seemingly meaningless stuff we make ourselves do. Essentially, we're all weirdly self-aware animals evolved out of some unknown source of life doing a bunch of random stuff that we accept as normal on a planet that we are stuck to, in a universe we know essentially nothing about. The concept of life as we know it is just as much science fiction as any science fiction film or book ever made. In a lot of ways, the strangeness and complexity of life can be overwhelming and depressing. The fact that we can't understand or be in control of everything. The fact that there could be misfortune, uncertainty, and just plain weirdness. All of this can make us feel confused and small, like we are nothing more than clueless, insignificant beings strung along by life and its absurdity, with no clear direction or purpose. But what separates someone who is able to still lead a happy, positive life in spite of all this mayhem of existing, from someone who cannot, is how one deals with the notion of life's weirdness. What separates a positive, meaningful existence from a negative, empty one is predicated by what angle you are looking at life from. The side that finds anguish in the fact that we barely understand anything about the life we live, or the side that finds fascination and intrigue in the mystery. The side that finds spite and anger in the fact that we cannot control or predict things in the future, or the side that finds excitement in the fact that we can't always be certain of what's to come. The side that finds contempt in the weirdness of nature and humanity, or the side that finds humor in it all. We can view life from one of these two sides, the positive or the negative. Sure, things aren't always roses and sometimes stuff is just negative by nature, but we can choose which side we want to build our home on. The side that gets the sun or the side that's always in the shade. Every day we can choose to try to make the most of things and revert back to the positive side as often as possible. We can choose to remind ourselves that life is so weird and so insane, and we are lucky enough to get the privilege of being able to experience, observe, and explore it. Whether it is a work day at a job we don't like, a lazy day at home where we don't feel productive, or a day that we had to sacrifice to some time-consuming task, no day is ever truly wasted or lived in vain, so long as, even if just for a moment, we remember to acknowledge and appreciate the insane, perplexing, weird, profound, and fascinating life we get to be a part of. And likewise, even if a day is filled with money, fame, and achievement, no day is ever truly a success without doing the same. No matter who you are or what you did today, any day that you remember to acknowledge life in all of its weirdness from a place of positivity is a success. And today is not over.
You're weird at night, so weird at night. Thanks for being so weird at night. For 100 nights, weird at night.
Freed from the shackles of time and space, we present Weird